Hello, this is TW. Welcome back. Before we get into the story, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. It's free and only require you to click on the button below. It would really help my channel a lot. Thanks. Well then, let's start by turning down the background, shall we? This story is a tad lengthy, but I'll try to make it as short and sweet as possible. This incident happened when I was 14 years old. I'm now 23. My dad was, at the time, a whitewater raft guide and would often be out of town during peak seasons, leaving me, my older sister of 7 years, and my stepmother at our home nestled in front of the Cherokee National Forest in East Tennessee. It was later in the evening of a Friday night, and me and my sister decided we wanted to go get Subway before they closed. So we asked our stepmom, and she said sure. So my sister and I get in the car and head to Subway, which was only a couple miles away. As we pull out from a stop sign at an intersection, I notice a car get behind us. Not unusual, just that we lived in a sleepy small town. So maybe I knew them. Anyways, didn't think about it. We arrive at Subway, which is in a shabby shopping center where an old white's grocery store that was right beside of the restaurant. It's dark at this point, and the car pulls into the dark, unlit parking lot where a lot of local high schoolers hung out. I quickly thought it was just another teen hanging out. I was wrong. We finished our order and leave with our food in our hands, and I noticed the car's headlight flicked on as we're opening our car doors. I then mentioned it to my sister, and she shrugged it off, so we drove away from the Subway to the exit of the parking lot, and the unknown driver of this white Ford Probe floored it across the parking lot, running over the curb to keep behind us. This definitely scared my older sister. There's multiple ways to get to our house, so we took the more intricate and confusing way to someone who doesn't know where they're going. We were scared and just wanted to get home. The vehicle kept up with us until a few turns before our neighborhood. As I mentioned before, we lived on top of a hill and the forest was behind us, but in front of us were 3 streets, forming a valley-like structure. We get closer to our house, and since we lost the follower, we figured we were being paranoid. We get into our driveway and walk inside and kind of jokingly tell our story to our stepmom. And in the midst of the story, we see headlights from a car in front of our house. My sister looks out the window. It's the white Probe. We're scared at this point, cause this person either was very aware of where we lived, or was a neighbor we weren't aware of. They sit outside our house for what seems like a really long time, and before my stepmom gets her phone to call my father to ask if he would have any idea as to who this was, they drive off. Odd, right? We sit and eat our food, uncomfortable but trying to shrug it off. We see the old vehicle outside again, and 4 more times later, my father was called. He wasn't sure who it was, but assured us we were okay, that we had firearms in the house and we lived in a safe neighborhood. That's all he could do through a phone call and in Florida. Maybe it was someone who was lost, or thought they knew my sister. We didn't know. My stepmom has to work the next day, and since it was the weekend, me and my sister slept in late. We woke up around 11 a.m. and decided to play some video games. Shortly after we started playing, there's a knock on our front door. Nobody should be knocking. We don't answer. It keeps going and is getting harder. Now, from our living room you could see into the kitchen. My dad, being a nature lover, had built a ceiling-to-floor window in the kitchen to sip coffee and watch nature. This is important. The knocking subsides, and my sister is trying to find her Motorola flip phone to call our stepmom and police. As she is doing that, we both see this man peering inside our large kitchen window, and as we make eye contact, he turns and walks up the hill into the national forest. The police arrive several minutes later, and so does our stepmom, who was also beside herself. The police ask if we knew who this could possibly be, and why whoever this was would have left a note on our door. A note on our door? I thought. Till we are reading the poorly written note that was written on the torn corner of a piece of sticky pad paper that read, "I wasn't planning on hurting anyone." We told the officers what happened and that he went up the hill into the forest, so they did a quick scan and said they didn't see anyone, and that we really just need to keep everything locked up for a while. Be vigilant, and if we experience this again, to give them a call. We moved shortly thereafter this event for other reasons, but to the man driving the white Ford Probe, let's not meet. And that's the end of the story. Wow, it is a really scary thought that two young girls were being followed by a car with who knows how many of them were there. I mean, yeah, the Ford Probe is a small car, but you never know, right? Hey, they could have weapons, and that would be even worse. I gotta agree with one of the comments. Yeah, the note doesn't really do anything. If he got something he wanted to say to OP, he could have just say it louder outside the door, and be more specific other than simply, "I wasn't planning on hurting anyone." The question is, why are you here? Why are you following OP and her sister? Well, I don't think we'll get the answer, and something are better off not knowing. OP, if you're listening, I hope you and your family are doing great, and to my viewers, this story is written by user FitWitness2931 from Reddit. If you like the story, do go and give her an upvote to show some support, link in the description, and yeah, don't forget to show me some support too by subscribing because it is free and would really help a tiny channel like mine a lot. Well, that's it for the story today. Again, please subscribe if you haven't yet. It's just a simple click on my icon near the end of the video or the button right below. Some people might ask, why? My answer is this. 1. It is free. I don't see why not. 2. You get an extra video every day to enjoy even though I'm not your first pick. Isn't that great? Even if you ran out of videos to watch, you still have me, sitting in a jazzy bar, waiting to tell you more interesting stories. 3. It gave me some emotional support to keep making videos, as it does get kinda sad and lonely to keep uploading without any people watching, you know. If you already did, please know that I really appreciate that. Thank you, and we'll see you again next time. Have a great night.